If you look at the global statistics for new businesses, the truth is incredibly hard to swallow. Nearly 50% of all new businesses fail within their first 5 years. And if you look at the macro horizon, a staggering 90% of startups will eventually vanish. So I'm one of the few who is still standing 8 years in. So my name is Kajal Naina. I'm the founder of Kajal Naina Fine Jewellery, but my path wasn't a straight one. I was a successful, experienced clinical dentist for 10 years, worked in Nepal and Singapore before I ever picked up my first piece of gold. Today, I'm the mother of 3 daughters. I've lived in 5 different countries, and my designs have been featured in the New York Times, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, and Prestige, to name a few. I have also navigated the high stakes of premium retail, opening a flagship storefront in Harbour City and later making the executive decision to close its doors to focus our scaling entirely on our exclusive private showroom here in Wanchai and our online business. But none of those highlights are what I wanted to share with you today. Today, I want to give you the 5 defining laws that 8 years in the trenches have actually taught me. Not the polished, manicured version, but the real one. So, lesson 1. Starting before you feel ready is sometimes the only way to begin. So when I first transitioned into the world of fine jewelry, I did not sit down with a multi-year corporate strategy or wait for that perfect commercially validated moment. The honest truth is, I didn't wait at all. I was completely engrossed and so mesmerized and consumed by the idea of creation because it came so naturally to my soul. I bypassed the entire analysis paralysis trap that holds most entrepreneurs back. So most people, they sit back before they start. So the minute I sketched a concept, I made it. The minute I created a physical piece, I put it on and started showing it to people around me. So it was pure passion. I didn't realize it at that time, but without even knowing it, I had launched a business, right? My business. Because people loved what they saw. The market validated me before I even had the time to let imposter syndrome set in. And then I realized right then that the intense clarity that everyone searches for in stillness, it never comes before you begin. Clarity is a consequence of action. It's never a prerequisite for it. So my action came from a place of pure obsession, and that obsession built the baseline of my brand. So if you're waiting for the fear to disappear or for a perfect blueprint to land on your desk before you take your first step, you will spend your entire life standing on the sidelines. You have to jump right deep in. Start showing your work to the world and trust your absolute ability to figure out the commercial part of it as you move. So lesson 2, passion starts a business, but absolute discipline is what sustains it. When I first entered the fine jewelry world, I was fueled by pure passion. I loved the art, I loved the gemstones, and I loved the thrill of creation. But passion is an unstable, fluctuating emotional resource, right? It rises and falls with your mood, with the market, with your sleep, also with the daily headlines. So when the initial excitement fades, or when business realities get heavy, passion can completely evaporate. So I stopped relying on how I felt. I started building rigid systems, I built daily rituals, I built an operational calendar that I followed meticulously, especially on the days when my creative passion was quiet. So passion lights the match, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the furnace burning. Remember, if you want to survive in business for 8, 10, or 20 years, you cannot run on emotion. You have to build a disciplined machine. The passion, it will come and go, but the discipline will keep you alive. Lesson 3. You cannot build an empire alone. For the first years of my brand, I had my self-reliance. I wore it like a heavy armor. I did the technical designing, the complex logistics, the physical pop-ups, client relationships, social media. I carried everything. So self-reliance is a massive strength when you are breaking through ground zero, when you're starting, right? But eventually, there comes a time when your business has to fly. If your business cannot function for a single week without your direct presence, you don't own a company. You own a highly stressful, high overhead job. So I had to learn the painful but liberating art of asking for help. So I intentionally hired people who were vastly smarter than me in their specific operational domains. I forced myself to delegate control even when it completely terrified my inner perfectionist. True leadership is not about doing everything yourself. It's about building an exceptional platform where you have a group of talented people who can execute your vision. So stop carrying every operational burden by yourself. Hire people, trust them, train them, and let go. Lesson 4. Money is not the opposite of purpose. As women, we are deeply conditioned by society to believe that if our work is creative, meaningful, or soulful, we should somehow feel guilty about charging the rates for it, right? We treat profitability as if it is a betrayal of our authenticity. I think this is a massive psychological trap. Profit is not the enemy of purpose. Profit is the absolute oxygen of our mission. If your brand is not deeply profitable, you cannot pay your team market-leading salaries. You cannot source the finest materials. You cannot expand, and you certainly cannot sustain your creative vision. It took me a while before I completely stopped looking at pricing as a reflection of my ego or fear, and I started looking at it as a direct, honest reflection of the elite craftsmanship, the time, the luxury value we deliver to our clients. So purpose requires capital to change the world. Charge exactly what you are worth. Charging well is not greed. It is stability, sustainability. So let's be completely honest in the comment section below. Have you ever lowered a price or given an unasked for discount because you felt awkward standing in your value? You can type yes or no below, and let's see how many of us we are holding our own selves back, right? Lesson 5. Your identity will keep changing, and you must give yourself the permission to let it fluidly evolve. When you look at my own trajectory over the past 2 decades, it reads like a series of completely different lifetimes. I was a clinical dentist running a practice in Nepal. Then I was an expat wife navigating Tokyo. I was also a mother fiercely protecting her young daughters. Then in Singapore, I was a postgraduate master's resident in NUS. And today, I am a luxury designer and business leader in Hong Kong. So at every major intersection, the journey demanded that I shed my old skin to become a completely new version of myself. So giving up my medical title was terrifying, of course, and I felt the heavy judgment of the world that demands you pick one lane and stay in it forever. But your past achievements, your degrees, and your old titles are not a life sentence. You are not a static character in a book. You are the author. So giving yourself the permission to shift from dentist to artist, as in my case, from solo creator to corporate leader, that is how you unlock your true genius. Because real success is not always loud, right? The digital world is completely obsessed with loud visibility, celebrating only the explosive revenue months, the massive showroom launches, and the public awards maybe. But an 8-year-old journey is made up of many different seasons, and the most critical ones are never meant for public applause. So there have been so many quiet seasons that were purely about survival. Auditing your books, fixing broken internal logistics, rebuilding after a market shift. How many times have I had to do it? So anyway, also re-anchoring your family across border moves sometimes, maybe like mine, or quietly studying a new craft while the retail market is slow. So these quiet, unseen winter chapters are not failures. They are where your roots grow deep enough to sustain your next massive spring. So true success is defined by the fact that through every single season of transaction, doubt, or rebuilding, you still chose to show up, dress up, and make your next bold bet on your vision. To the woman watching this today who is currently in the trenches of her own 5 years or navigating a season of reinvention, maybe, I want you to look at my journey. Take a deep, clear breath. This path will test every single boundary, belief, and identity that you possess. But in the end, it will also build you into a woman who is completely self-determined and unshakable. Do not wait to feel completely ready. Build the discipline, share the operational burden, charge what you are worth, and embrace the fluid evolution of who you are becoming. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this reflection inspired your own path, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below letting me know what season of business are you currently navigating right now. Make sure to join our exceptional community over on Instagram or Facebook, and I will see you again. Keep building, keep evolving, and keep leading. Bye for now.